Okay, so one other building I'd really like to to give spotlight to regarding the interior and the minifigure detail is the grocery store. Even though this it's a tiny little building, there is a ton of elements inside the interior, and I don't know why the element count got so high on the interiors, but it did. I also keep element counts of the interiors to understand kind of how much detail I'm getting out of the volume. And despite this being the smaller building, it's one of the highest interior element piece counts. So for that reason, it demands us to go inside and to cover the details a bit more. But before I go into the interior and remove the roof, let's look at the minifigure collection that's populating this. Again, I kind of like to think of my buildings also if they were to be released as sets. Not so much the build, is it easy to build, but what is the story? Who are the characters and what product shots would we make and so forth? So obviously the billboard would get big attention on that. Once I have the marquee style sign decorated with some stickers, that would be also a nice big key feature. These really exaggerated exterior elements give this building a lot of character. But beside that, I think it's very fitting that you'd have some type of delivery truck delivering the groceries, and I've tried to make it as colorful as possible. Maybe some words about the colors of my buildings. They're very monotone colored. I know if you were looking at this as a set standalone, you'd want many more colors, right, on the building itself. But once you get it in the context of the city, I think, where every building is kind of monotone, it would become kind of noise to have so many different colors going on. And often I look at people's Lego cities on YouTube, and this is the feeling I get. It is grotesque, sounds like a word which is really loaded with value. I don't mean it like that. It's much more descriptive when I say the word grotesque, but there's just too many details going on for me to focus. So kind of the experience of looking at this city from the outside, there's order in the simplicity of the colors. But as you go deeper and your eye is drawn nearer, you discover many more colors being used. So at all levels of viewing, do you get a nice breakdown of color? And that's something that's very important to me when I'm building. So again, you've got the guy, I think I've designed that torso. I'm not going to pull him out of there. All the food's going to fall everywhere. But yeah, I designed that torso for I think the space theme in 2013 or 14. Here's a guy helping. He's obviously working at the grocery store. Unfortunately, the problem we often ran into at Lego is getting those ink colors to match the molded colors, especially when they're printed on a dark color. And you can see that dark orange just doesn't match very well, unfortunately. I think there's a worse torso from before I worked at Lego, but one that was still in circulation, and we had to build minifigures out of it because we didn't have enough novelty budget. It was a blue torso with orange legs, but the orange print on his chest, which was supposed to match the legs, looked more like dark orange, and I really wanted to add dark orange legs. And my colleagues were like, no, it may look right, but it's just not right. That's orange ink and it should go on orange legs. So I tried and failed, and I think they're probably right. So other than that, we've got some figures over here who I imagine you at least need 2 grocery store workers, right, at the grocery store. I think this yellow colored hand cart is quite rare, actually. Maybe only released in one set from 20 years ago or so. There's a grandpa here. Of course, he's got his orange in a basket. And I wish that basket was released in a set because it's getting kind of expensive on the secondary market, but yet it's such a perfect color. And there you can see the grandpa's face on I don't know where that torso comes from, actually. Dark green, looks like something Harry Potter, but I don't know about that. Then you've got a family over here. Love this new stroller element. A mom. I think that's Mary Jane's torso. And you can see a little bit of a cleavage indication on that one. I don't think Lego does that anymore. I think we were told to not do that anymore. But I think it's quite realistic, and really capture. I understand who that woman is. And to be honest, that cleavage line adds to it. I understand who that character is. I see her out when I'm walking in Chicago, and definitely see her on Instagram, right? She's got a daughter. Nice torso, nice hair, right? Remember my colleague designing that torso. She did such a good job on that. Maybe I can pull it out of there. Yeah, you really understand who that character is, right? Yeah, and then maybe the last guy I would imagine being part of this grocery store set is this guy. Very urban looking guy with his messenger bag. And I think I've talked about this in another video, but the headphones to me indicate some solitariness, right? So you've got, sorry, some real social things happening with the family and the delivery and all the workings going on. And then, of course, you're going to have just some guy who wants to go shop and do his business and get out. And these headphones really indicate that. They really tell that story. So I think that was a needed story to be told in this city, in this grocery store set. Before I take off the top layers and go inside, I'll just remove this and maybe show you the detail of how that's built up. I've got studs going out on both sides, and that's achieved by way of this bar with studs that go on both sides. So that's really holding everything together, but it's pretty solid. Like, I don't even know how I made it so solid, but it's not moving at all. So it ends up being kind of thick. But again, that exaggerated look is what I was going for with that sign. And with that, I'll now remove the top and go inside the grocery store. Okay, here we are with the top off. I've set that aside. And as I said, there's a lot of elements in here, despite its small size. And a lot of that just comes with it being detailed, right? With all these tiny little elements. So you got a dry goods shelf here, 2 layers. Ideally, maybe I would decorate more of this stuff. You can see some kind of orange seasoning probably there, some kind of citrus seasoning. I worked at Lego as a graphic designer. It would be the icing on the cake to develop little prints for all of these, right? And print those out on stickers and really give that some life. That's a project that's still outstanding for me. You can see some food, oranges and apples being sold. Maybe I should say also, I didn't even talk about this, right? On the outside here, you've got a gumball machine. Oh, I can tell I'm not gonna rip that right off its base. Gumball machine there. No real way for the candy to come out once you twirl it. Oh well. Use your imagination. Nice grocery cart with food. So try to be really fresh with this one. Inside here, I'm just going to take these out of here. These are actually 2 freezers full of milk, some popcorn on the top, more elements that just call for more decoration. But the cool thing there is it's kind of open in the back, but since it gets another cooler, so you don't know that when they're in there. But cooler with radiator there at the bottom. And here would be the other side to the cooler. So this one looks more like some sports drinks, right? And some water. And yeah, very iconic red color, right? These are some Cokes inside that refrigerator. The last thing that can come out, you can see the tiled floor. There is a stack of, again, Cokes there that sit against those. I'm not going to pull those out. You can see what's going on there. Last thing I'll pull out is where you go to shop. You can see the main entrance goes into the shop, the public shop. This entrance here would be more for the employee. It goes right to the cash register. And as you will see, some goods that need to be behind the counter. So yeah, there we go. Now I got a good hold on it. So there's the where the register is. And there you go. There's some nice whiskey and wine, right? I actually saw that design on I think it was like a Wolverine and Deadpool, perhaps. Wolverine had that bottle there, and I thought that was such a good design. You can't even really capture it here, but the way the top stud of that transparent orange goes in to the stud of that transparent clear thing, plate, it really gives the illusion that there's some liquid sitting in there. Such a simple design, but yeah, I can't really convey it here, but there, maybe that's a bit better. It just really looks like there's some liquid sitting in the neck of that bottle. Typical stuff on the inside, nothing to speak about there. And these would probably be decorated with some candy, right? You'd have some candy concessions right next to the cashier. So that's the interior. Maybe you can see what it looks like without. And I think that besides some stickers that need to be added, that's really the tour of the inside of the grocery store. So I hope you enjoyed that one.